It's too hard. It fades. It's like orangey. It's annoying. It's annoying. Okay. Okay. I thought it wasn't pretty. It wasn't high scoring at times, but I think we did some really good things. I think we improved from the last game, so I'm happy about that. Got to play a lot of people. Wish we could have scored more. I kind of wish we would have shot the three a little bit better, but we're work in progress.
When you had your younger players in that second and fourth quarter, seemed like the defense. Your shooting percentages, opponent's shooting percentage went way down in those two quarters when they were playing a lot. So what did the young players do defensively that might have been an improvement from the past?
They played a lot smarter. When we were getting closer in fouls and they were in a bonus, it was like the last 40 seconds of one of the quarters, but not being so handsy. I thought better in transition and just a little bit smarter. But I thought the second quarter, we really let them make a run. I thought we started off the game better. That's what I really wanted to address, was not waiting until halftime to get going, not letting these teams stick around and wait and then play a better second half. So we started off better, but then we got really stagnant in the second part of the first quarter. But I thought defensively, a better job overall, but not a good job understanding who's hot. So if you look at Rosborough, number 5, she was 10 for 15, 21 points. So we have to have an understanding when she has the ball, everybody else needs to sag and help, and it's not just a one man's assignment; it's the team. So I think we need to do a better job of that.
What was the reason for full court pressing from the jump? Will we see this one?
Yeah, we always do that. That's what we do if you watch us. We full court press all the time. And sometimes even when we're up, we just do that for assignment. So we're not trapping there. We're just matching up. We're better, especially as a young team. We're better matching up early than looking at half court because then it's a disaster. Someone will be open for sure.
Two Skylers.
Yeah.
She came out in this game. Last game, she only scored 4 points the whole game, and it seemed like she just had a fire under her.
That was
just
because she only scored 4 points that last game.
Yeah.
Or when she came off the bench, she was mad at me. It's okay. I was like, whatever motivates you.
So did anything different that she did? Did you see anything mentally?
I think just determined and aggressive and was on a mission. I think when she gets that and zones in, and she was like that when she came off the bench. She was mad. She was coming off the bench, so she came in I'll show her, which is fine. So I think that for her, I think she had a really good game. She ended up coming off the floor cramping. And I wouldn't know because I don't have enough muscles to cramp, but she's okay. Everybody was worried about her. She's okay. She was given some hydration stuff, but I thought she was solid. It was between her and Brea for player of the game, and Brea just happened to have 8 rebounds and 3 blocks, so that's why. But yeah, Sky's been good. Sky's someone we really need to play good to be good.
Taya got her first points. What did you see from Montea today? She seemed a little bit more confident.
Yeah, I think that she is just a player that she's been out so long. 2 years of being out and not getting that last year high school game experience. So it's a long time without playing. So she just needs repetition. She just needs to get in shape. She's not in shape yet. And she just needs game experience and game situations. And for her, we play her at a lot of different positions. We play her at the 3, we play her at the 4, we play her at the 2, we play her at the 5. So she needs to know a lot of positions, and she's really good at that. But it's also asking for a lot. So she needs repetition, and she needs just minutes and time, and she's going to be fine. She's a really smart player. Even when she's not scoring, she does some really good stuff off the ball. And, I ran a flare screen for her, and she scored the 3. And she's been working on her shot. So, I expect great things for her. I just want to get her just more minutes and time.
Do you know how the technical foul was assessed?
Yeah, I think always with the players, we say this all the time, and I as a player, I didn't listen either, but they always see the second or the retaliation. So it's not the first thing. If you get elbowed or get yelled at, they always see who, chimes back. And so there was words to her, and then Jada just had some words back. But just explaining that's not the way we want to react. But, the emotions in game, that's not what we want to do, but that's never happened to her either. And they always talk, all the players always talk, but I think it was just real loud right in front of Lisa, so she had the tear up. We're young. People forget, sometimes if you look on the court, we have 3 freshmen, and 2 sophomores. So we have a lot of learning to do.
There are several times where you had 1 returner and 4 newcomers.
Yeah.
What about those rotations? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving, experience in tough times. So like in difficult situations, like Maylene coming in early, going to the 1, then putting Jade in, running Maylene at the 2, running Paulina a little bit at the 1 in case we need her at the 1. What if Maylene was in foul trouble or Jada was in foul trouble? So we need that third person that can play the 1. And Paulina's really poised, and she's done a good job of that in practice. So that kind of makes it uncomfortable. I think that's one of the reasons why, her shot wasn't falling a little bit, but that's okay. We have to do those things so she's prepared later. Putting Montea at the 3 where she's, guarding on ball, it's different than receiving on balls versus being the screener, defending the screener in that action. So Montea at different positions, giving Erin some playing time, putting Katarina in earlier to get some reps because we're going to need those players down the stretch. And then putting different combinations. We already know that Brea and Isis have really good chemistry, but working in, Montea and Ja or Ja and Isis, Ja and Brea, those are important rotations in the game because it's different than practice. And Lauren sometimes at the 1, sometimes at the 2, and really at the 2 because she's a really good shooter. So I want her at the 2 more, but putting her on the ball sometimes and just different things you can play with right now in the off season or in the non-conference.
So with Lauren, she only scored 5 points, but her defense was really tight tonight. Much better.
Good rotations on point. And one time we were like, watch her closeout. She was like, well, that was a full closeout. I was supposed to run off the 3-point line. I was like, yeah, you're right, actually. Good job. I was like, you're right. We don't want certain people to shoot the 3. We want them to pull up. So she did that. And I think she's really trying. She's working herself in shape. And I like her being aggressive. So she's not only a shooter, she's good at driving to the basket. She's good at other things. And she's a great kid. Like, she's coachable. She does whatever you ask. Like, this team is a really good group of young women. And sometimes you have to battle some attitudes or body language, but that's normal stuff. I was a competitor. I was like that too sometimes. But and the best teacher is the bench. So we have the luxury of doing that now. We didn't have that luxury last year. We have depth and we can play in different ways. So those things can be corrected. But I think overall as a team, you see they're excited when Erin scores. They're picking each other up. Those are the culture things I value. So if you see that, we do that. If you look at the bench, they're into it. Those are things that are very important to me. And we talk about it. And, if I bench some people, that's the reasons why. And then you move on. I'm not someone who's like tomorrow. It's just, it is what it is. But I do emphasize those positive things. So when we're watching film and they're all jumping off the bench, I stop that in film and I show it. This is an awesome bench. Or when Jada dove on the ball, they all run and pick her up. That's what we emphasize that in practice, and we value those things, and we chart those things. So I hope you're seeing those things on the court. We're a much better team than last year, even in the beginning of the season last year. And I think we had better individual players last year, but not a better team.
You see a lot of Isis, telling people where to go on the court, even not her position.
Yeah.
How important is that?
Extremely important. Isis is extremely valuable. She's hard to take off the floor. I don't care if she was 0 for 2. I'm gonna get her scoring more. We can do that. But she is a great passer to Brea. She's a lot of the reason why Brea has a lot of those points. She's feeding her all the time. She's helping JR's younger, Ja, when they come in, helping him know where to go. She's talking to the guards. Those things are extremely valuable, and they don't show up on stat sheets. I always talked about that with Helena. Helena did so many little things, and that's what Isis does. She's pointing, she's talking, she's getting us on the same page, and that's why she's a captain this year. If you'd asked me last year, would Isis be able to guard a 4 and be our best trapping post, I would have said no, she can still guard a 5. Now she can easily guard a 4. She can switch on the guards. She's our best on-ball post defender. And she's our most vocal in-game situations. That's comfortable. I think JR is the most in practice, but JR is not comfortable yet in games. But Isis looks and plays like a 5th year right now. And that's really important to teams. And teams are successful with multiple 5th years like that. So,
15.
So you see, I like her a lot. No, and she's a captain this year. If you would have told me she's going to be captain next year, I would have been like, probably not. And she's worked herself into captain, so she's earned this, and she deserves this. I'm really proud of her.
15 second chance points.
Yeah.
Blocking out the biggest part of that, or do you think, where do you think those are coming from?
Well, ours, I think Brea, 3 offensive rebounds, and You're talking about our second chance points. Um, Offensive rebounds, I thought those things. I thought for us, though, they had 6, we had 10 offensive rebounds, but 6, I thought we didn't do a good job of boxing them out. We would come up with, who had 9? We would, yeah, their point guard had 9. That's a lot. But we would come up with the ball sometimes just because we're taller and bigger, but the habit of boxing out, we're not good at. So I'd say transition defense, boxing out, we have to work on, and some different pick and roll situations. That's an area that we have to improve on. Yeah, like letting them have 24 points in the paint because of layups, that's not good. But I thought overall, I thought we did some good things. I'm not, the stat I'm not happy with is 12 assists, 14 turnovers. You never want more turnovers than assists. Our goal was 20 assists, 10 turnovers. So, we had a couple charges. Like, Sky had three turnovers in the first half. Those are things, so the fundamentals of jump stopping. So right now we're working on those fundamentals every day for our guards. I don't like the jumping in the air passing. Those are turnovers. And then being under control to not charge. So that's that body control of going your non-dominant hand and those things. So we're working on that stuff daily. So I hope you see improvements in the next couple of weeks with that.
Last question. What are you seeing in Bria's growth?
In Bria's growth, she's getting in better shape. She's not where she needs to be physically, but she's running the floor harder. Last year, she would have never ran the floor like that. She's doing a great job of keeping the ball high, and she's finishing better. And when she's missing, it's because of fatigue sometimes, so I'm trying to play her through that. It's a much, much better job at playing through fouls. Before, if I would have had her in 2 fouls, she would have got the 3rd right away. So, and I have more confidence, and I'm putting her in. Today, I let her play a 3-4. I didn't want her to foul out, so I pulled her out the end. But letting her play when she's tired with fouls, she's smarter. Last year, tired with fouls, she would have fouled. So I think she has a better understanding. I'm putting her in a little bit less aggressive rules. I'm less aggressive defensive assignments. So she's not out there trapping as much, and she will later, but we don't need her to do that. I don't need to have her sit in foul trouble when she sits. So I think what we're doing is good for her, and I think that she's doing a really good job, and she looks like a better player. She's getting better. And, she's a player that we're counting on to do some really good things. Like the way that we shot the 3, I don't like the way we shot the 3 the last 2 games. I think we're forcing some shots, but normally Paulina will hit a couple more. Jada's not going to be 0 for 4 a lot. Paulina's not going to be 1 for 4. That together, 1 for 8, they're going to shoot it better. So we need to be 35, 38% from the 3. We have to be a good team, and I think we're capable of that. I mean, Lauren's not going to use to be 0 for 2, so those 3 are going to hit more. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Can you talk about Maylene and what you're seeing from her?
I love Maylene. Maylene is the German beast. No, I'm just kidding. Maylene is an awesome kid. Like, she is a great person, a great teammate, works her butt off. She dives on the floor. She's relentless on defense. She makes mistakes, and I don't care because she plays hard. So you're allowed to make the mistakes. I'd say we have to work on her passing a little bit more, her turnovers. And a lot of it's, she's a freshman, so she's passing from, here's the 3-point line, she's passing from here into the post, and those are turnovers because it's more athletic here than in Europe. But, I mean, she's an awesome, like a phenomenal rebounder. I think she had 8, right? 9. She had 9. I mean, our leading rebounder with 9 as a guard. So I'm letting her crash. I love the way she rebounds. I love how she draws fouls. I love how she dives on the floor. She has 3 steals. She has deflection stuff that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. So the way she plays is the way I like to coach. So I like to coach kids like that. And I feel like she's getting better and better. She's improving her shot. And I love that she's been more aggressive. She was only 1 for 3, but we'll get her more shots. She's having great drives to the basket. I mean, it's hard to be a freshman and play point guard and then be full court pressing. And I like her size, the point guard. I think she's going to be a really good player. She reminds me of a lot of Helena in the sense that she's going to just get better and better because of who she is and her characteristics. Because you can't teach the heart. You can't teach the relentlessness. You can't teach that tenacious defense. It's just who she is. So the fundamentals and stuff, we're going to improve on. So I think she's going to be like that. I think she'll end up shooting the ball really well. And, like, she'll be a dog for us because she fits in our style. So I love coaching her. I think Katarina, too. Katarina's getting better. Her shot's improving. She's getting more aware. But she's like Montea, needs to get more reps. Because, remember, she was a young pro and, like, didn't get a whole lot of playing time at a high level. So she needs to just get game experience, but she's gotten better from like the first exhibition game. And those are kids that love the game. They work at it every day. They're going pro when they're done. So that's what they want to do. But they're great students. They're great teammates. They're great culture kids. And I like that. Sometimes they probably don't know what's going on here, and the Americans are crazy. But especially after all the election stuff, they don't really know all that. But they're just funny because they're just like, they're just probably thinking themselves, these crazy Americans. But they're great kids. Okay, cool. Thanks.